Welcome to episode 2 of The Pulse with Wise County Schools, and I'm fortunate this morning to have Layla with me. Layla is one of our middle school students. Not really ever talked to you before, have I, Layla? This is probably our first time sitting down talking. I'm really anxious to kind of get to know you a little bit and for you to possibly ask me some questions that you may have. But this is just something new that we've got going on, and I'm sure you're really regretting being out of school right now to come meet with me and sit down and talk. But Layla, I don't know much about you. The folks in Wise County don't know much. Do you mind telling just a little bit about yourself?
Yes. My name is Leila. I've grown up in Wise since forever, and sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah.
I play sports.
Okay. Well, and we're going to get into that a little bit. I know a little bit about what you do. I know that maybe you just got done with volleyball season. Does that sound about right? And then you're getting ready to start basketball. Do you do any other sports? You play volleyball, play basketball. Do you do anything else?
I do track too.
You do track? Okay. So were you able to do middle school track last year?
Yes.
Okay. What events did you run in track?
I did the 100-meter dash.
Okay. All right. Any other events you remember?
I think I did like the 4x100.
Okay. I used to run track back in the day. Not now. I can't run now, but I used to run track back in the day, and it's a really, really good sport. You're a middle school student. Do you have any SOLs this semester?
Not. I think actually I have a civics SOL.
Okay. Is that this semester or next semester? Do you know?
I think it's this semester.
Okay. And so do you have sports are great, they're good, but you really have to be a student first, right? You make pretty good grades?
Yeah.
Okay, good. What's your favorite subject so far in just, 7th grade? I think back in 7th grade I loved math a lot, but then that kind of changed a little bit once I got into high school.
Well, right now my favorite is math.
Okay.
But my second is probably civics.
Okay. All right, that's good. And I know this is a long way off, okay? But anything like right now, if you were going to go get a job or you going to go to college, what would you do?
I'm kind of looking into being a 911 dispatcher.
Okay. So you think maybe like first responder type thing, like helping people and stuff? Well, I think that's good. Let me ask you this question. Again, been a long time since I've been, in middle school, and what's something that you wish adults today, it could be teachers, it could be your parent, it could be your grandparents, you wish they understood about being a student today?
It's a little hard to balance sports and school, and keeping your grades up and making sure you do your homework and all that stuff. So it's hard to keep it balanced.
Your parents pretty hard on you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm pretty hard on my kids too, but that's probably good. When you have expectations, that usually means that people care about you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me ask this: you've been in civics. You've got math's one of your favorite things. What's the most interesting thing you've learned recently? And that could be in school, that could be in sports, that could be wherever.
Well, in civics, we've been talking about government history and how all the branches work, and I think that's pretty interesting.
Okay, well, and there's getting ready to be, an election coming up, so those are things to, understand and to know. And you talked about the stresses of playing sports and doing extracurriculars and studying and having a little bit of pressure. How do you balance that so far as a 7th grader? Playing some sports and having homework. How do you balance that?
Well, my practices are later in the evening, so as soon as I get home, I get off the bus and I try to study and get all my stuff done. And then I usually make myself something to eat before practice, and then I go to practice.
What do you eat?
Just whatever's left over. Like yesterday, I had chicken casserole.
Okay. Sometimes food's better left over, I think.
Yeah.
Sometimes you heat it up and it's a little bit better. Okay, here's one that I want you to think about a little bit. If you could design or create any class, you've got your standard math, you've got your standard science and your civics, but if you could design your own class and all your classmates took that class, what would it be?
Probably art, because you have to express express yourself sometimes.
Okay. Have you had a chance to take art yet?
I took it in 5th grade, I think.
Okay. Well, as you get older, you'll get a chance probably to take it, and we've got some pretty good art teachers around here. 7th grade, I remember it was always really important, and it's important to all kids. They always like going on field trips,
Yes.
right? You like going on field trips. So what would be your dream field trip? If you could go to your principal and say, hey, listen, I want to take my buddies and we're going to go on a field trip. Where do you think like would be the best dream field trip?
Probably to like a theme park, like Disney or Dollywood or something like that.
Okay, that's good. I think my family's getting ready to go to Dollywood on Saturday, I believe. As a young athlete, student athlete, do you have any goals that you're working toward right now? Or are you just day by day, I'm just trying to get through the day? Or do you have anything in mind that you're like, as I transition into 8th grade or as I'm going into high school, do you have any type of goals that you're working toward?
Well, I'm trying to keep my grades up and trying to stay on top of the sports, like always being practice and stuff.
Yeah. And I think that the good thing about sports and even extracurriculars, I think that they teach you to work hard. And if you don't, what happens if you don't work hard?
You're probably not going to be very good at it.
Yeah, and same thing with your grades. If you don't, as soon as you get off the bus, if you don't go in there and do your homework or stay up to date on your schoolwork, you're probably not going to have very good grades, are you?
No.
So let me ask you this question, okay? Do you consider yourself to be a successful student? Do you think you're pretty? How would you define success? What's success look like for Layla?
Probably like making good grades and not slacking off on homework and stuff.
Yeah. You ever been in trouble any? You ever get in trouble? Not at your house, but like school? You ever get in trouble at school or anything like that?
No, not really.
Okay. Well, that's good. I know that there are a lot of things that inspire and motivate me to try to do the right thing. But what are some things that maybe inspire or motivate you?
Well, I like to watch basketball on TV a lot, and I want to be at that level that they're at in the future.
Yeah. So you have goals and aspirations of possibly playing sports beyond high school, right? And basketball would be your number one choice, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I'm a big basketball guy. I like basketball quite a bit. Let me answer this, okay? You probably, have some things in your mind as a middle schooler. If you could change one thing, and that could be, the food that we serve, it could be anything. Is there anything you would change about what we do right now in the middle school?
Probably the food.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you pack your lunch most of the time?
Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes kids do both. They do. They pack a lunch and they get a tray. But what would you offer? We talking like Olive Garden. Endless salads. What do you think we would have?
Probably more options because one of my friends is gluten-free and it's kind of hard for her to get a tray.
No, yeah, okay. Well, you tell that friend if they are, make sure they let those cafeteria managers know, and they'll definitely work with her to have a few more options. Okay. Now you've talked a little bit about your goals and what drives you and things, but in 10 years from now, if I was to run into you on the street, what do you think? What do you think Layla's going to be doing 10 years from now?
I have no idea.
Hopefully playing college, right?
Yes,
Or
hopefully.
in college somewhere, right? I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. Here's one thing I'm really interested about: social media. Are you allowed to have social media?
I'm not allowed to post, but I'm allowed to watch it.
Okay. And so, what avenue of social media are you most intrigued about? Which one are you looking at the most, even though you're not allowed to post?
TikTok probably.
TikTok. Never made a TikTok video or anything. I haven't either. I've never done that before. But I'm answering this question too, Layla. You are allowed to have a cell phone,
Yes.
And have you always had one?
Not always, but I think I got it 5th grade year.
Okay. And so, where do you go for information? Like, if Layla's like, I really want to know about this subject, or I need to know something. Where do you go to find information?
Google.
You go Google. You big Google person. you know what an encyclopedia is?
I've heard of it before.
That was what I had used to go to back in the day. We didn't have Google whenever I was in school. I had to go usually to the encyclopedia and look it up. So, now it doesn't have to be a TikTok thing, but it can be. What's a recent trend or topic that really fascinates you right now, where you're like, man, I really want to know more about that?
Well, that's a hard one.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Trying to think of all the recent trends.
Yeah.
There's this TikTok dance that I like to do, but not post. It's the I'm Too Fast one.
The I'm Too Fast TikTok dance. All right, I'm gonna look that one up. My daughter is big into watching TikTok videos and like makeup. She really likes makeup for I guess that's her thing. I'm not sure, but I've got a couple more for you, and then I'm gonna let you ask me one, and then we're going to kind of maybe end it with a few funny ones and some fun stuff. And I hope I'm not grilling you too much, but I just really am just. These are things I just don't know. Okay. All right. Let's say that Layla was the most powerful person in the world. Okay. What would be one thing in the world that you would change?
Probably people thinking they're better than everybody else.
Like you would think people need to be a little bit more humble and have a little bit of humility, and that does come. That sometimes that comes. Sometimes it doesn't come. But I think that's a very good answer. Very, very good answer. Now, one of the most important aspects, I think, of being a student athlete is community. Okay, and what do you think your role will be as you get a little bit older, and what have you seen so far about the role of students in the community?
Just like stick together. Just like don't try to do everything by yourself. You need your team. Relationships are really important,
and sometimes you got to count on your buddies to help you out, type of thing. All right, well, I'm gonna let you ask me some questions, okay? And then I have a few fun ones that I want to ask you, okay?
Okay.
Well, and again, you've not shared these with me. I have no idea I have no idea what these are. So.
Okay. Do you have any hidden talents?
Do I have any hidden talents? I wish. I really do wish, but I can't sing. I tell my wife I'm a good dancer, but she doesn't agree with me. So I would have to say no, I do not.
What is your favorite memory from middle or high school?
I think from middle school, I had some really good teachers. I think some of my middle school teachers are some of the best teachers I ever had in my life. And then from high school, you get into the sports realm of things. And I was fortunate enough to play on some good teams. And usually when you win, you enjoy those things a little bit more. So I think my teachers and probably my friends that I made whenever I played sports.
Yeah, that's a good one. What is the most valuable lesson that you've learned or taught?
That I've learned or taught? I think hard work, and you've talked about that a little bit, but I think showing folks that, sometimes their expectation of what they can do, you may see more in somebody. Does that make sense? If you've probably had a coach that's probably pushed you, or a teacher that you may have gone into that class and said, I really don't like civics to begin with. And then you find this really great teacher, and all of a sudden you're like, you know what? I really like this. And so I feel like I've always tried, and I learned that from my teachers and my coaches, was they push me to do more, because sometimes it's that hard work. You get to a certain point where you want to quit. You've ever been at track practice and you're running, you're like, I really probably could stop right here, but you run a few more, and that sometimes that little extra ends up being a difference in being decent to really, really good. Does that make sense?
Yes. Okay. Would you rather never eat your favorite food ever again, or always eat your favorite food for every meal?
You repeat that one again, because food is. I really enjoy eating. I'm very picky about my food. But so you repeat that one for me, please.
Would you rather never eat your favorite food ever again, or always eat your favorite food for every meal?
I would rather not eat my favorite food, because I got to have a variety. You got to mix it up every once in a while. So I would be okay I really like Mexican food, so I could probably give up Mexican if I could still just keep a variety, I guess.
Yes. What pushed you to become superintendent?
That's an excellent question. We talked about relationships, and I feel like over time, the relationships and the people that I've had in my life have kind of brought me here. Does that make sense? Layla, 10 years ago, if you had said I was doing what I was doing, I would have said there's no way, that would have probably even been possible. But a little bit of hard work and some really good relationships with folks have kind of propelled me here, I guess, because I love coaching basketball. I was a girls basketball coach, and that was one of my favorite things to do. But sometimes, the Lord will say you need to do a little bit more.
Yeah. That's all.
Is that all you got? Well, I've got, Halloween's coming up. Okay, are you a big Halloween person?
Yeah.
Okay. I have dressed up the past few years for Halloween. My neighborhood where I live, there's a lot of trick-or-treaters and things, so I've got some Halloween questions for you. Okay. Do you have a favorite Halloween movie?
I like Hocus Pocus.
Okay, that's a good one, actually. Those little sisters used to scare me a little bit. I like a lot of Halloween movies. I don't know if I have a favorite, but I like the real scary ones. You've got that actual Halloween movies with Michael Myers and all that good stuff. Are you too old to dress up, or do you have plans for Halloween?
I think I'm gonna dress up this year.
Yeah.
I haven't really decided yet.
Yeah. What's been your favorite Halloween costume so far?
Well, one year I was Michael Jackson.
Oh, I think I remember that. I think I remember seeing. Can you dance like Michael Jackson?
No.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right. All right, let's talk about candy. Candy is a very big deal on Halloween. Do you have a favorite Halloween candy?
I like the Reese's Cups.
No. Now that, I'll be honest with you, that's my rank number one. Reese Cups, that's like number one for me probably. Now, my least favorite, and it might be one of yours, and this could cause a serious debate and maybe even a serious fight, but do you like candy corn? Do you know what candy corn is?
I like it.
Do you like it? See, it's like bottom for me. I would give away all my candy corn. I like sweet tarts. I think those are pretty good. But now candy corn, not a big fan of candy corn at all. So, as we finish here, okay, we've got a few more. And again, I told you that it's been a long time since I've been in middle school. I'm a lot older than you are. So I'm going to ask you they're not trick questions, but these may be some questions that you've never heard of some of this stuff. So if you've never heard it, I want you to kind of guess and tell me what they are. Okay? Is that fair enough?
Yeah.
If I said, Layla, what are the yellow pages?
I have no idea.
If you had to guess, what are the yellow pages?
Maybe like a book or something.
Okay, that's a very good guess. Very good. Back in the day, there used to be a thing called a phone book. You know what a phone book is? And the yellow pages were inside the phone book. And you could look up businesses and things like that. All right, what about this one? You're a middle school student. You carry a book bag?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what a trapper keeper is?
Maybe something to put like your pencils and stuff in.
Okay. It was a big deal to have a trapper keeper. When I was in school, it's kind of like a 3-ring binder. Probably wouldn't be cool to you today, but everybody needed a trapper keeper back in the day, okay? What about, do you know what Aquanet is?
Maybe something like put it in the pool or something.
In the pool? Well, that's close, okay? What if I told you I would never use Aquanet? I don't need it.
Maybe like a pool toy?
Maybe, yeah. What if I told you it was hairspray?
Hairspray?
Yeah, hairspray. Yeah, it was a style of hairspray. So I don't think I need it. Do you? I don't think so. All right, I got one more question for you, and you may not know who these people are, but can you name either a song or any of the members of the Backstreet Boys?
No.
Do you know who the Backstreet Boys are?
They're a group of singers.
That's good. Okay. Who's the most popular? Who do you listen to right now? You listen to music?
Yeah, it's kind of variety of music.
So if you're going to a game and you're on that bus and you're heading that middle school game, what song are you probably listening to or group?
Well, I like listening to like 90s songs.
Okay, that's good. That's more my style though, so that's good. Well, Layla, I appreciate you for coming out here and sitting down with me and talking and allowing me to kind of pick your brain a little bit about what what life is like as a middle school student. But I want you to know that I'm going to be rooting for you, okay? And I really hope that in 10 years that, if you run into me on the street, I can say, I remember when I interviewed that young lady, and I hope you're able to have a really successful career, okay? Well, thank you for coming. And again, this was episode 2 of The Pulse, and had a great guest, Layla. And I just really, really glad you sat down with me, okay?
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.